Hi, I'm Dylan Wong, and thank you so much for wanting to learn more about me. The first thing you should know is I'm a software developer, primarily a web developer that just recently graduated from App Academy, uh, a boot camp where I did three projects, one being a full stack project, cloning a story sharing website, another doing a MERN project, taking the board game Deception and turning it into an online multiplayer game. The third being a JavaScript project where I use vanilla JavaScript to construct a top down shooter type game. Um, Also, I graduated from the University of Buffalo with a degree in computer science and a certificate in game studies. Some things I enjoy during coding and full stack development or like web development in general is logic based problem solving. So, trying to solve the interconnected web of how all these components fit together, how they can pass data around in unique ways, the most efficient ways, those all interest me. It's all very cool, along with designing like intuitive user interface. Because nothing excites me more than making a website that the user just already knows. They don't have to fumble through anything. They already know the site and could navigate it instantly by just staring at it or looking at it. One of my other passions besides coding is to write stories. That's why I cloned the story sharing website Royal Road as Royal Crossing. As you can see, this is the homepage. We have a nav bar, the logo, a login button here. We also have latest stories where we have the stories that the community has written. Let's check out the login first. Let's check the login. So we can log in here. We can create a new account. I'm not gonna create a new account, but I do have a login. So let's log in as my email. Let's do my password. Let me see if I misspelled it. Let's try again. There we go. We're inside. Let's check out one of these books. Let's check out Mystic Mountain 2. Here we are. We have the novel's title. We have the author. We have genres. We have the synopsis. We have the cover. We also have the chapters down here in the table of contents. We have this demo user, and we have this follow button. It's a lot of stuff, but don't worry, I'll explain more about everything as we go further. So let's unfollow this for now. Unfollowed. Okay, now let's click on the first chapter. As you can see, we have some notes here. We have some more content for the chapter, and we have more notes from the author. We also have these previous chapter buttons and next chapter buttons, but since we knew that it was only one chapter, these won't go anywhere. But we have our fiction index, which will lead us back to our main page. Cool. We also have our profile, which lists our name, our personal information. This stuff is filled out in the registration. I didn't put anything. We have what we're following. We're currently following 0 things, and we have one fiction that we have written. So let's check out that one fiction that we've written. Dylan has written The Travel To and has 1 follower. And let's check it out. So this fiction has 2 chapters, and it has some basic stuff. But to further explain everything there, let's go on to demo user first to check it out. So let's log out of Dylan and click on demo login. Now, as you can see, we are now demo user, and demo user has written 2 books, Books Gone Wild and Mystic Mountain 2. So since we checked out Mystic Mountain 2, has 0 followers, let's add a follower to it. So let's go into the page and follow ourselves as a demo user. We're following our own book basically. Let's go back, and now we have 1 follower. Yay, cool. So let's add a chapter to it because we don't want it to be 1 chapter, right? So let's add chapter 2. When the cold hits, it's cold, and blah. There. Okay, let's publish our chapter. There we go. We published our chapter, and this is chapter 2, so we can actually go back to our previous chapter here, chapter 1. So click on next chapter, back to chapter 2. But let's say we didn't like that chapter, like, oh, we misspelled something or something went wrong there. We can go to our dashboard, and we can obviously edit that chapter. When it's cold, it hits cold, it burns. Chapter 2, we'll say updated. Updated. Let's save changes. As you can see, it burns. We have updated. Let's check the fiction index. It is there. We have updated here too. Cool. Let's go back to our right. Let's say, oh, that was a mistake. We actually didn't want to do that. Well, that's cool because we also have our delete function here to remove it from our thing. Let's check it out. Let's check the page again. Now that chapter is officially gone. Cool. So what else can we do? Well, as you can see, we have this Book's Gone Wild, but we can also create a new story. Let's do that. Let's make it Mystic Mountain 3, the sequel. Let's add our synopsis of being it's cold. Let's add 2 genres, horror comedy. We have to add a chapter because what would a story be if it didn't at least have 1 chapter? Let's add chapter 1. Content's gonna be nothing really to look at. Cool. Let's submit it. Submit. As you can see, it redirected us to the home page, and as you can see in the latest stories, Mystic Mountain 3 is at the top of our list of create stories. But let's say we didn't want to call it Mystic Mountain 3. What if we wanted to call it something else, right? So let's go back to our dashboard for Mystic Mountain 3, and let's edit it. Let's edit. So now we're here, Mystic Mountain 3 edit page for the story. Let's say we want to call it 4 for some reason, and say it's cold and hot. And let's just click all of our genres. Let's submit. As you can see, we're Mystic Mountain 4 now. We have put all the genres there. We have it's cold and hot, and that's it. We have edited this chapter. Cool. And that pretty much concludes the functionality. So one of the challenges I face along coding Royal Crossing is that in the demo you saw that when I create a story, I also had to create the first chapter. Because what's a story without any chapters, right? So the problem is that a chapter can't be created for a story that doesn't exist yet. So how did I solve this problem? By nesting asynchronous requests. That's how I solved it. Basically, it's lying right here. Basically, what's happening here is once the story is created, then the chapter will be created and become associated with that story. And this really helped me because throughout my whole project, or this whole endeavor, I guess, I utilized this kind of structure, especially in component mounts. For example, here I have some function down here. It doesn't really matter. But before everything, I want to receive values from my backend. So this right here will allow me to get everything I need and then set the state once I get whatever I need inside that asynchronous request. It's not as nested as to create one, but this is kind of the formula I found out through it. Now, that problem or that challenge was very difficult for me during that project, but that's not the only problem or challenge I faced during that during Royal Crossing. Of course, there's plenty more that I could list and name on, but it all comes down to what I took away from it. And I feel like I took away the core principles of the MVC framework and how the work process flows and how to problem solve and think around certain objects and create in creative ways. Thank you so much for spending the time to walk with me through the features of Royal Crossing and to learn more about me as a developer. At the end of this video, you'll see contact information as well as more links to my work in the description below. I look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Thank you guys so much again for taking the time to learn more about me.